You can't control what kinds of people attach themselves to your ideas. Chances are, if you have any notable ones, there's probably a Venn diagram somewhere that overlaps one or two of them with the rationale of some fringe group or publicly despised entity. Oftentimes, people are labeled by the worst audience they attract, and that's not fair, because you are not a symbol of your worst fans. Like when a moderate conservative gains a collective of alt-right followers, suddenly he's painted as an alt-right icon, and that's bullshittedly disingenuous based on a couple of relevantly overlapping ideas. Or when a hate group publicly expresses support for someone, and then that person gets instantly demonized by everyone else who hates the hate group, and assumes that the person in question must share 100% of the opinions of the hate group because the social justice mob is fucking stupid sometimes and willfully gives itself tunnel vision more often than not. They see red like a tortured bull and they charge, complexities be damned. I'll tell you something you didn't know about hate groups. It's gonna blow your mind. They have other opinions. They have favorite songs, movies, non-hatred based outlooks on other kinds of politics. I know, it's almost like they're also human people who, when they get off the forum or put the tiki torch down for the day, they have a life to live. And don't get things misconstrued. I don't give a fuck about them. But you have to recognize people in their entirety to try and connect, or to know what you're up against, or to safely disregard them completely. Whenever support like that is made public, everyone is real quick to call for the subject to denounce his newfound fandom. I don't know if you've ever had fans before, but that's not a great way to win them over. The idea that by not outright condemning the beliefs and practices of those fans, you're somehow enabling them or showing solidarity with them is dumb. As aforementioned, I don't control who my fans are. I'm just here to get as fucking many of them as possible from whatever walk of life they may tread, and never compromise myself whether for or against them. If I'm gonna talk shit about whatever unsavory characters are liking my videos, it's gonna be natural. But you won't see me clam up in response to a new branch of my fan base either. Some people curate their audiences. They're like, hey, if you believe this, we don't want you here, get out. I ain't doing that. I only tell people to get out when they comment on one of my non-gaming videos that I better upload a gaming video, because I'm a gaming channel. Bitch, you don't tell me what my channel is, I tell you what my channel is and you like it or fuck off. That's a guaranteed block from me. Your future comments will be seen by no one. Apparently, I want my own Daily Show spinoff because I very much enjoy script talking about political current events. I'd want my show to be focused less on the hard-hitting big issues and more just a dissection of whatever dumb shit people are freaking out about this week. For example, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was recently asked to leave a restaurant by the owner because of her association with the president and her justifications of the child separation policy at previous press briefings. She decided to take the high road by leaving peacefully, and then tweeting about how she left peacefully, even though she referred to the restaurant by name in the tweet, knowingly exposing it to all sorts of potential ire and backlash in the process, although it's mostly been getting 5-star reviews from the Democrats in the wake of it all, so I'd say the plan backfired. People rightfully brought up the gay cake controversy in comparison, where the Supreme Court said the dude didn't have to bake a cake for the gay couple if it infringed on his religious rights. And in fairness, the 11th commandment does read, "Thou shalt not bequeath thine pastries to any pair of buttfuckers," but in this case, infringing on his religious rights just means I don't want to bake them a cake because I hate gay people and I think Jesus would definitely back me up on that for some reason. No, yeah, he'll give bread to lepers and prostitutes, but handlebar mustaches is where he draws the line. Regardless, exactly like that dude was exercising his right to enshroud overt bigotry and biblical rhetoric to make otherwise customers feel unwelcome, this restaurant owner exercised her own right by asking Sarah to leave. The only difference was this owner was forthright and not a coward. Some people are like, you can't bemoan the baker and praise this restaurant lady, pick one. But you can, easily, because the baker was discriminating against people whose only crime was their sexuality, which is actually not a crime, while Sarah's crime was defending multiple ethics violations and generally being a mouthpiece for a guy who would press a button to start a Mexican Holocaust if no one was looking. We just appreciate the irony. The baker didn't have irony, he was just a cunt. Look, you can refuse service to people for not having a shirt or shoes. I think being complicit in brown kid separation needs a window sign of its own. So yeah, I'll take a half-hour show weekly, not trying to work myself to death, preferably HBO or somewhere with less censorship. Netflix would work. I mean, if Michelle Wolf can film a 3-minute sketch where like a car horn is blaring nonstop for half of it, I'd say the creative freedom over there is pretty broad. I write all my own shit, but don't mind people funneling me stories to look at and making me graphics. This is my writer. Here we go. Number 1, I do not want to have to shout out a black DJ with a Hasidic Jew beard at the beginning and end of every show and watch him stand there with me on stage and overreact to all my jokes for the camera. I'll pass on that one. It's a fun energy, but it's manufactured. I watch The Break regularly. That's just a thing where I'm like, nah, I'd rather you didn't have that going on. Number 2, I do not want an obligatory catchphrase to sign off with at the end of every show that doesn't mean anything. I used to watch a show that was on after that nightly show with Larry Wilmore, so I'd always catch the outro of it in the recording, and he would always say, "Good nightly, everyone," because it was the nightly show, and every time I heard that, I was like, "That's not cute, Larry." That kind of bothers me a little. It probably shouldn't, but it seems so purposeless. Like, it's not a joke. I guess you can call it wordplay, but that's like Down syndrome level wordplay. Or Jim Jeffries, "I think we can all do better." That line got an applause break episode 1, but now he says it while it's ending over everyone's show's over applause. That's like if Larry the Cable Guy didn't say "get her done" until he was halfway off stage during the standing ovation. Number 3, I don't want to be behind a desk unless someone's blowing me under it. I do want to sit in a swivel chair, though, much like the one I'm in currently, because on my end, at least, it's synonymous with my comedy. I've never done scripted material without being in one, so it would be open concept, like every house ever flipped, full view of my legs, and I get to spin around whenever I want. Number 4, I ain't dressing up. No suit for me. Michelle Wolf does it in jeans and weird shoes, and I like that attitude. I've never worn jeans in my life, but my style will do fine. Track pants, graphic tee, and a hoodie to really give off the impression that I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be completely unprofessional, though. It won't be like Chelsea Handler's thing where the show grinds to a halt while her dog runs around the stage for 5 minutes. Number 5, no interviews. I don't even like real talking to people. Feigning enthusiasm over whatever's being promoted at me is a firm no thank you. Yeah, let's talk about your book I didn't read. How is it? Would you recommend it to people, as the author? Number 6, white pearlescent floor, like in Daniel Tosh's Happy Thoughts special. Dark, deep purple backdrop. The stage is large and barren, except the center, where there is a side view of me in my swivel chair at a small black computer desk with a laptop open on it, facing me. Then I turn left and address the viewers. The laptop stays open throughout the whole thing, but the camera doesn't see the screen. Then at the end, when I'm signing off, I turn and close it, and right when I do, the TV screen goes black and the audience noise cuts off abruptly and the credits roll. It'll be great one day. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.